Okay, hi guys, you're welcome to the Chevening Winning the Chevening Scholarship webinar. So tonight we have a Chevening scholar. He is Lucky Chooks Nonyelum. I hope I called your surname or I pronounced your surname
No,
very
it's fine. It's
well.
fine.
But
It's all good.
I believe he has a lot to dish out to us, and like I said, just try to be attentive and make sure to interact as much as our speaker would want you to. There's a chat box and there's also a question box. You can use both the chat box and question box and, to ask your questions. But before we get to question section, there are people that already put their questions in the form. So we'll be asking those questions, okay? We'll be asking those questions before we go to any other questions here. So I'll just leave it out to Lucky Chooks to start because he already has a presentation, a very beautiful, beautiful one at that. I need to steal this presentation, Lucky Chooks. I need to steal it.
Every day you're free to steal.
I need to steal it.
You're free to take it.
It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. So you guys, let's welcome, please use the chat box, welcome our speaker. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're welcome, Lucky. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you all for the honor, rather. Thank you for accepting this invitation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Elfrida. Do you know by name anybody called Shehu Adeola? Shehu Adeola. Elfrida.
I don't think I know.
No, he
I
said
don't.
that he's your friend. He's your friend from University of Bristol. So I'm working with him currently on the project I'm working on now. He's sending his regards. Shehu Adiola. Maybe I didn't pronounce the name well, but his name is Shehu. I think he did something in education and all of that. So just for you to be aware, I'm
Oh,
just sending the
is
greetings.
he a Chevening scholar?
Yeah, he's a Chevening scholar. Yeah, my
Okay, then
set.
maybe I'll know him. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I do. I think I do. Yeah,
All
I
right,
do.
no
I do.
problem.
I do.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
good afternoon, everybody. It's really nice to be here. Please confirm that you can hear me. And yes, if you can hear me, just send like high five, just drop something for me. Let me know that people are following me on the comment section. Just drop, say, Lucky, I can hear you. And if you want to clap instant. Let's make it like a family group meeting so that we'll be able to enjoy ourselves very well. All right. So drop something on the chat box for me. I really appreciate to hear you guys dropped in. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks. These quite responsive persons. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate. Really do appreciate. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. So good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lucky Noyelum precisely. So I'll just quickly do the speaker's introduction. So yeah. Exactly. So this is my profile. My name is Lucky Noyelum Chukudalo. Yeah, I'm from Enugu State, Nigeria. So I hold a master's degree in international education and development from the University of Sussex, England. I also possess a first class degree in physics and education from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Nigeria. I'm also a recipient of the prestigious Chevening Scholarship. That's why most of you are here, right? 2021, 2022, and yeah, very glad that that thing came true for me by God's grace. I'm also the youngest Chevening scholar. I got the scholarship at the age of 22. So obviously, I'm trying to debunk the rumor that Chevening scholarship not just for maybe people in their 30s or mid-career. So it could also be fresh out from NYSC. And maybe if you are here, you are done with NYSC. It's also for you just have to know how to apply yourself very well. I'm also, I currently work as an educational consultant with the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, Abuja. So I'm passionate about medical physics and pedagogical development in STEM education. So how STEM, how science education basically is being taught. And that was where I did my research work, where I did my research work back then at the University of Sussex, doing my master's degree. And then my life mantra, whatever you engage in, do it with excellence. So whatever you find your hand doing, do it well. So that has always been my life mantra, right? So I really want to, encourage you guys. So this is a bit of my profile. I'm currently in my workplace. So currently I'm implementing a scientific literacy here in Southeast Nigeria, and the project has really been taking a whole lot of my time. Trust me, Frida, sometimes I really get overwhelmed and tired. Just like this afternoon, I got tired. I just had to sleep after church today because sometimes these things can be quite overwhelming. Okay.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, very overwhelming. So okay, so let me gist you. So basically, I did research in science education, development of science education in Southeast Nigeria. And then when I came back, the people that funded my scholarship with the Chevening Scholarship, they kind of approved a funding for me to actually implement what the outcome of the projects, like
Whoa,
in Southeast
that's
Nigeria. Yeah.
beautiful.
So
Wow.
it's so now I'm no more writing. I'm trying to bring up the idea to make it into fruition. So you could imagine still going through that process of mental work, and this guy really believing in your idea and
Wow.
believing that
Wow.
whatever you
Wow.
are doing can really
That's
come to fruition.
amazing. That's really,
Yeah,
really amazing. Wow.
yeah. It's exciting, right?
Yeah,
It's
because I
my
mean, it's not every scholar that gets to get funding immediately from the fund, the same body that gave you the scholarship.
yes.
It's really amazing. That's nice. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's what we are
Mm,
doing now. So you could imagine trying to bring these
mm,
things to life, right? So I think that's a bit of my profile. That's what I do now, and then working as an educational consultant, and that's it. So straight to the Chevening Scholarship, right? So what is the Chevening Scholarship? Okay, I'm trying to So note all information provided is based on the speaker's knowledge and does not guarantee the attainment of a Chevening Scholarship. All right, just
mm,
making sure that we are all aware of that. So it's being offered by the United Kingdom government for over 160 countries. Just to add, in Nigeria, we have about 1,600 scholars. And then one of our scholars, if you know the founder of Channels Television, that is Joe Momo. Joe Momo is also a Chevening scholar. And
wow.
the good thing about Chevening scholarship is that these guys are interested in the development of Nigeria or in development of any nation that the scholarship in which they are giving the scholarship. So they're expecting you that probably when you get the scholarship, you should come back to your country and give back within at least 2 years. So
Mm,
and after that, you can actually go back. So that's something about Chevening scholarship. And they find a way to actually give you that platform for you to actually give back, just like how I came back and that now funding my research for me to actually implement a sustainable solution here in Nigeria. So that's how it basically works. So the idea is that if you want to be a Chevening scholar, you must show that you are really interested in development, in growing your nation. You are not interested that you just want to leave the country, you don't want to come back, right? One individual was asking me, hey, Lucky, is there a way that you could bypass for you not coming back after your master's degree? I tell you, sorry, I don't know. But obviously, for you to start asking that question as when doing your set of application, that means I don't think you might be worthy for that scholarship because of this criteria of that scholarship, right? So everybody just have to be above that. So Chevening Scholarship sponsors recipients for a 1-year master's degree at more than 100 selected UK universities. So obviously, just to make mention, we have the Chevening Scholar. The Chevening application is different, and also applying to universities is also different. So you're expected that once you register, once you apply for the scholarship, you also apply to a university. That is, you also apply to a university, and these are two different applications, just that we could be aware of it. But don't worry, it's something I can always do. So it's a fully funded scholarship covering tuition fee, stipend, traveling costs, health insurance, visa application, and more, right? So for more details, you could visit the www.chevening.org. So what am I saying in essence? This guy is a fully funded scholarship. You don't need to pay any dime for this application. I didn't pay any dime to leave Nigeria, and the scholarship is still benefiting me up till now, right? You don't need to pay any application fee. You don't even need to pay for any visa processing fee. Once you go there, in fact, in UK portal, when you're applying for your visa to leave the country, you'll ask you if you're a Chevening scholar. If you say yes, you'll not pay dime for it. You'll not pay any money for you to really go and apply for your visa. And the good thing, your visa comes out in 2 days. My own came out in 2 days. So that's good thing about when you have good scholarship, really funding you, and these things are well recognized, right? So that's why I'm encouraging you. And school fees in the UK is very expensive. My school fees was about £18,000. So imagine if I was funding myself. I think £18,000 currently in Nigeria should be about close to 20 million naira. Imagine only paying 20 million naira for school fees. Then I've not even talked about your stipends, your accommodation fees, and all of that. So schooling in UK is quite expensive. So one sure way for you to actually school in the UK is getting the Chevening Scholarship. It's a very competitive application, trust me. And obviously, this good thing doesn't come easy. I think during my own time around, about 9,000 persons applied. 172 we are called for interview, and 50 we are given the scholarship. I was the 23rd person selected for the scholarship, right? So you can imagine how competitive this application is, but it's really worth it. It's really worth it. But I don't think you should be worried about that 9,000, because the idea is that if you could do your homework, trust me, they are going to call you. When I mean, if you can do your homework, write your essays very well, do the application right from your heart, do that retrospection, and with that retrospection should be able to be seen in your essay. It can be that it's something that you really, really need to do. And there are processes to this thing. Apart from what I'm going to say in the webinar, I want to really encourage everybody. When I was applying for my Chevening Scholarship, I read everything in the website. So if you read everything in the website, it gives you an idea or criteria what these guys are actually looking for. So when you're now writing your application, you find a way to actually tailor it. You tailor your application towards it. Okay, so this is something I really want you guys to look out for. So make sure that I go through the Chevening Scholarship, and there's a lot of webinars, there's a lot of YouTube videos on right away. So it's something that you might really want to work on and see that you could read and get many information as because I think information is the key. If you can have as many information, I think that'll be very okay for you. Now, the scholarship aims to cultivate the next generation of leaders who will play pivotal role in diverse sectors within their respective countries. So in the education sector, in the finance sector, in the health sector, in the engineering sector, whatever sector you're interested in. So this guy expects you that they want you to come back and become leaders. And if you check out the Chevening Alumni Association, most of them work with international organizations, they work with the government, some of them are commissioners, some of them are governors, and all of that. So these are kind of great Chevening actually give. So when they come back, they expect you to give back to your country, and that's what we are actually known for the for development of Nigeria. So if you really love this country, trust me, you must go and come back and give back to the country. And that's something about the Chevening Scholarship. And it's obviously what I'm currently doing now. Since I came back, I've been working on this project, and hopefully most of you will be hearing it in UK, in Nigeria, in social media, because we're really putting a lot in towards the publicity of the stuff and all of that. So it's something that we are really doing, and that's what the Chevening Scholarship is all about. So it keeps you in a track of development within your country and also Africa and the whole world at large. The application for the Chevening Scholarship. So I think the application for 2024, is it 2023, 2024 or 2024, 2025? I might be wrong, please. So sorry for that error. I think it should be 2023, 2024 application. It will open around 12 September. Sorry, I didn't update that. It should be around 12 September. So I think it should be about Tuesday this week. So it's open. I think it's like, please, everything I'm saying, please try to confirm it. I might be wrong, just making sure I'm not passing out the wrong information, right? So make sure that you could go to Chevening and check. I think it's about 8 weeks or 9 weeks of application when the application portal is going to open, right? So make sure that you look at it and see if it's something, so you can track the timeline and also track yourself. Okay, so recipients are also required to come back to their home countries after completing their studies in the UK, contribute for at least 2 years, and give back before departing again. So you have a minimum of 2 years to give back, right? Or rather, is it a maximum of 2 years to give back? The highest you could give back is 2 years. So after 2 years, you could decide to leave or if you want to stay, depending on, excuse me, please, depending on your long-term career plans and all of that. So that's something about Chevening Scholarship. So please, if you are still following me, please just say hi. If you are still connecting with me, just say hi. Let me know I'm still with you guys, okay? Because sometimes teaching can be quite, can be so much information at a point. I don't know what you are doing. So just tell me, hey, Lucky, I'm with you. It gives me encouragement to keep on going. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being there. Thanks for your messages, right? Well appreciated. So we move into the next one. All right. So who is eligible for the Chevening Scholarship? That's another one. Who is eligible for the Chevening Scholarship? So the Chevening Scholarship mandates applicants to have a minimum of 2 years work experience. Now, let me explain this 2 years work experience. This 2 years work experience, it should be apart from your COS, apart from your industrial training. So the 2 years, so your industrial training is not part of your 2 years work experience. Okay? So your 6 months industrial training or teaching practice is not part of your 2 years work experience. So work experience here could be like something you did on a part-time level, right? Maybe when you're in university, you are working while you are going to school. That thing could count as work experience. Internship, paid or unpaid internship, that could serve as a work experience. Maybe you're doing your NYSC, you taught or you worked in a company, work experience and all of that. So that's how we calculate that work experience. So you should understand that during the time of your application, you should already have like about 2 years work experience. So take, for instance, I graduated from university at the age of 20, in 2018, and immediately I left, I started teaching. I taught, I did my NYSC. I thought, I did some couple of stuff. So that helped me. I was able to gain a lot of work experience, like not really necessarily a lot, but just the maximum I needed for the application during my own time. And now, work experience includes full-time, part-time, voluntary, paid or unpaid internship, right? Just like I rightly said. Now, the total work experience should amount to at least 2,800 hours. In the Chevening portal, they'll tell you, okay, probably how many hours do you work during this time? Could tell them maybe every day you are working for about eight hours and all of that. So it's something that you have to put in. So normal work time in Nigeria should be around 9 till 5. So obviously, you might just want to put 9 till 5. If it's full-time, 9 till 5. If it's part-time, can just tell us how much you work for part-time and all of that. So because this thing should be like a minimum of 2,800. So the portal will have a way they will calculate it, okay? And these things, when you're now doing your application, you get to see it and you get to see how it actually works. So this is something you have to really look out for during your application. And then applicants must have completed an undergraduate degree before submitting their application. So you're expected to have an undergraduate degree. And trust me, it doesn't matter what you graduated with, either with first class, second class, 2-1 or 2-2, all right? So the idea is that you can be able to use your undergraduate degree and get an admission into any UK university. That's the idea, okay? So you just have to go there and tell them, you write your statement of purpose and all of that. So it's not really matter about whatever you graduate. The idea is that if you could argue your way into any university in the UK, you can present it that you have gotten admission before, like, I think July 17th. Please check this date, right? So July 17th should be about next year. Next year, when you could have gotten the scholarship, they'll be asking if you have gotten admission to any university. So I think about June, I think it's June. Please, I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Just make sure you guys correct me. Okay, just do your research. So about June 12, June 13, just see if you are actually gotten admission to any UK universities and all of that with your degree, either a first class or a second class. All right. Sorry, I needed to remove this thing. I think I can't hear myself. So either a first class or second class. So it's something that you might really want to check out. Very, very important, right? So I think that's something you might really want to check out in your own time. So I think this is basically the criteria on how you should have gotten the scholarship, or these are what you need for you to be able to prepare, for you to be able to be eligible for the scholarship. Okay, please let me know if anybody has a question. Let me know if you are following me. Sorry, I think I'm quite energetic at the point, but no, I don't think I might not really be the way, I understand I might not really be hitting the ceiling, but I'm trying
Yeah,
to,
we're following you. We're following you, don't worry. We're following your energy. You're doing it.
I'm trying. It's kind of blend of my energy. I'm sorry if I'm not really that energetic at this point, but just follow me. But I'll try to explain as much as I can, all right? And bring me back if you have any question. You are free to interrupt me. That's totally fine, okay? Thank you. So the next one should be the application materials, right? So what are the application material? Now, so you have to prepare your 4 essays. I think I'll be highlighting about these essays on the next slides. And this essays is the most important part of your Chevening application. It's from these essays that they will either select you for a Chevening application. So you just have to be aware. But I'll talk more about this essay in our next slide. So you also need 2 reference letters. I think 2 reference letters for the Chevening application. And also you also have to check out that your school application will also be needing a reference letter, right? So you just have to you really need to check out to know, just have reference letter 2 or 3 but depends if it's something I've checked. So check if you also need an English proficiency test or certificate. English proficiency test or certificate is needed for your choosing school. So I think there was a time Chevening was really, for you to apply for the scholarship, you must submit a English proficiency test, right? I think when they stopped it was during COVID. That year of COVID, like I think when I applied was that year of COVID. Understand? So it was during COVID they did it. So I didn't need to write. And my schools in the UK, they requested I submit a proficiency test, but I sent to them my WAEC result. And my WAEC result was not up to 10 years then. So it wasn't 10 years I left secondary school. So I was able to also submit that. So something else that could happen can also English proficiency test from your various universities. So that English, not English proficiency test, but English proficiency certificate. That certificate will state that your university degree was done in English. So I think your various universities in Nigeria, they give those certificates. I don't know if they give it for free, but in my own time, I got it basically for nothing. They just gave me the top. But now I know that my school in Zik is collecting 15,000 naira for that. I might be wrong. Your research. Yeah, I might be wrong, but that collecting. So a lot of things actually, even transcript then, even transcript, because I know we didn't have transcript. I think I didn't put transcript there, but make sure you have your transcript for school application, also for Chevening application, because these are things that you should have handy. So what I did then was immediately after I graduated, or no, doing my NYSC. That was when I acquired my transcript. I knew I was going to do my scholarship applications, right? I knew what I wanted. It was clear to me. So I got on my document, my original result, statement of result, all these documents and all of that. So you just have to gather all of them together. I think the one I used to apply that before, the transcript they gave me it was like transcript. The one I used it was a transcript they gave me on hand, not that they had to transfer to my email. But I don't know how these things work now. But doing my own, I went to the exams and record office and I requested for it. My department sent it and I came and collected it at hand. And that was the transcript I'm actually using now. So you might want to make sure that you have these things ready, your statement of results, make sure all of them are legit. You are not giving a fake result, right? So ensure that you have all these documents ready, because these are necessary documents that if you don't provide, even if you get the scholarship at the end, if you don't provide this document, it might reduce your chance of getting the scholarship, right? Now, ensure your international passport is ready. Obviously, if you want to leave the country, you must have an international passport, right? So I think in my time in Port Harcourt, then I knew I wanted to apply, got my international passport. So with faith, I was working by faith, by not by sight. I told myself before the one will expire, now I'll travel. That was what I think they gave me like 3 or 4 years then. I think I did it in 2020. So, and I don't who did it for me. I think it was my brother. So he gave me, so I got my passport there. So making sure that, because it was something I was really submitting in my application process. So these are documents you need to really have handy and all of that. Now, conduct a thorough research on the school and the program you intend to apply. So this is a very key stuff, okay? So if you're into law, you might just want to conduct a study, maybe in energy law or a particular law you want to specialize. If you're into education, you need to really conduct a research on the particular course you really want to do in and all that. Very important, because these guys are keen to something. So if you have an interest, go to LinkedIn, you can search Chevening scholars that have studied so thing. It gives you an idea of the school they're applying to and also the course they're applying to, so that you can tailor it on, okay? But for my own, the idea of all these things, that the course you want to apply for, just make sure that it's something that UK, they're what we call the FCDO, that like UK and Nigeria. This is what UK and Nigeria is really interested in, because this guy, I'm not just giving you scholarship to go and study something that is not going to help the country. They're really interested in a particular sector. So you might just want to make sure that your course is connecting to that sector, and you could prove that while you are writing your essay, which is your career plan, telling them, when it comes to your long-term, short-term goal, which is, what the course you applied for is going to help you do. So you must really connect what the UK is doing in Nigeria and how that course is really going to, come to light when you come back and all of that. So there's some technicalities you really need to take place while doing your application, so that you come out successful. Remember, 9,000 persons are applying, right? So make sure that you are really doing very well in doing your research thorough. So you also have to prepare for your interview. Very, very important. So I think normally when they will send you an interview in Patrick around February, February 14th or 17th. I think mine was on 12th or 14th. I can't really remember. But when I got that interview, I know that. And now, when I got that interview, there was a confidence in me that I'll get the scholarship. And then when I got that interview, I had to match it also well. During my own time, I think I did about 30 mock interviews just to make sure that I'm prepared for that scholarship. So you could imagine the amount of work people actually put through to get these things. Before you say that it's a scam, it's not a scam. I didn't have to know anybody. I didn't know anybody from Adams. I was just like a young boy full of dreams, visions, and goals and all of that. And I was very curious. I was asking a lot of questions. I was meeting people. I was reaching out. I was developing myself and knowing that one day my time was going to come, right? So that's the idea. So you don't need to know anybody. This is not scam. Yes, obviously, the people that call this essay, when you write, it goes to their London office and they read this essay. Then they will now send back to the people that they want. From there, more selection will be undergoing. But trust me, this guy, you don't need to know anybody. No government officials interfere with the Chevening Scholarship. If they have interfered, I couldn't have gotten that scholarship because I got that scholarship from nowhere, out of the blues. Like, I just did my best. And that's my hope. And this is what I really pray our country is going to turn out to, like, a merit-based place whereby people, if you are good and you do the work, where hard work pays and stand. In Nigeria, we always say that, hard work is great. But there is country, if you go there, you have to really work hard. If you work hard, and then the grace of God is also there for you, you make exploits. So that's why I've done with sometimes, Nigerian application process can really be, I don't like doing it because of how their criteria of selection is. But in this Chevening Scholarship, you don't need to know anybody. It's purely on merit. It's not scam. Anybody can get the scholarship. Just know that the selection is few. That means you really need to stand out in different ways for you to be able to get the scholarship. And if you know that, I think one of my standing, so that there are different things that can make people to stand out. Obviously, one thing that could make you maybe your result. I made a first class in physics, right? So it's something that made me stand out. And to understand that, I was also very young when I applied. I think I got this scholarship at the age of 22. Understand? So people that got the scholarship was basically in their 30s, 35, 40. Some of them who had another master's degree, some of them who had a PhD degree, right? So to tell you the caliber of people that are applying, they are trying to give equal spaces. And even physically challenged people are also applying. So they're making sure that everybody has a criteria to play. So you must know what makes you exceptional. So for me, I think I brought my own unique story. And not only the first class, I was also the departmental president. When I was in Unizik, I was science education departmental president. I joined Toastmaster. I was just doing little things here and there. And I wouldn't say that those things were like big and all of that, but I was able to tell my stories very well, right? So the idea is that those little things you have done, don't get intimidated by what another person is doing, but those little things that you are doing, how can you be able to tell your story very well? That's all that matters. So for me, I was able to tell my little stories in a very tremendous way and in very impactful way. And I think that made a lot of difference. So you have to look for what is unique about you. That's something about the scholarship. Look for what is unique about you and really do a good application. I think with this you'll be fine. I think that's, excuse me, please. So that's how my application actually went. Now, let's talk about the Chevening essay. Guys, this is where everything lies with Chevening. If you want to get the Chevening scholarship, you really need to do your job in writing a good essays, right? This essays, it's a lot. I think it's about 500 words for each one. The leadership is 500, networking is 500. Studying in the UK is 500, and also career plan is also 500. So we are looking about 2,000 words. So this 2,000 words you must know what you write in this 2,000 words to actually be exceptional, right? So this is where the game plan actually comes in. I might just talk briefly about this thing, but this guy is more than what I'm going to teach you guys and more than what I'm going to say here, but you really need to go and really do your own job personally to make sure that you really write a good essay. So when it comes to the leadership essay, they want to know when you have actually led. And now, being a leader doesn't necessarily mean I could have led an organization. You can have an NGO. No, it could be that maybe actions you took when you faced a problem. That's what makes you a leader, right? Even at your home, even at your church, even maybe in your department, even maybe they told you to be some, or maybe, there'll be a problem in society, and how have you been able to act? That's what makes you a leader. So leader doesn't mean I need to head a particular organization. Maybe you might see a problem and you talk us through the way you actually solve that problem. And now, in writing this leadership essay, there what we call the STAR approach. You need to use the STAR approach, which is the situation. S means the situation, T means the task, A means the action, and arrow means the result. These are 4 things. You can tell them, when I came to Nigeria, I saw something like this happen. It didn't touch me. I didn't say you should write it didn't touch me in your essay, but you can see that, I was touched and I actually did this. So this was the task I wanted to do, and these were the actions I took. So you can take all your actions, and then what was the result? What was the outcome? All right. And you also make sure that you are very specific. It is measurable. When I mean it's measurable, you are giving facts, you are giving numbers. Maybe you reached out to 5, you reached out to 100 persons or 200 persons. Well, you really need to make sure that you follow the STAR approach. Very important. You can read more about writing a good Chevening application. Go to the Chevening website. There's a lot of information about this essay. There's different ways to write. There is not a wrong way to write, but I'm sure that in all those essays, something that is common, that they all use what we call the STAR approach, right? And you should understand that when you are writing your essay should have an opening, it should have a body, it should also have a conclusion, right? So you can maybe in the first paragraph, in 10 words or 15 words, okay, you could tell us what leadership means to you, right? Not necessarily like you define leadership, because you can say that maybe you can just tell us how you have exemplified leadership in terms of, take for instance, I believe in communication, collaboration, and teamwork while proposing pragmatic solution to the societal problems. So these are, you have a beginning, then you can see how those leadership example, how those your leadership, those things you feel that is a leadership stuff for you, how you were able to input it in your essay. Very important. So I think this is something that you could do when you are writing your leadership essay. Your networking essay, they want to know how you'll be able to network. It also still follows that STAR approach. However, you must also make to understand that in terms of networking is that what are you doing for people and what are people doing for you in return? Okay, what have you been able to help people solve problems? How you be able to connect with people? Because that's what Chevening is all about. Because when you are trying to reach out to people, you must be able to solve a particular problem for them. If you solve a particular problem for them, they can also be able to solve your own problem. All right, that's all about networking example. Take for instance, I think when I was doing my time when I was serving at Port Harcourt, then I went there, I joined Toastmasters. I started serving as serving as a secretary for the club. And then when I started serving as a secretary for the club, these guys saw that I was actually giving back to the club. They probably paid my dues. They were able to review my Chevening application. I went through some English exams so that I can be able to make sure that I was able to improve and all of that. And in essence, I was able to know about the Chevening Scholarship, and I did my application and all of that. So there's a way you need to tell your story. So the idea is that you must be able to give people so that people can be giving to you. Probably your lecturer in school, how have you been able to collaborate with your lecturer? Did you help him write a research report? What did you do for him? And then what did you get in return? Probably maybe, I don't know. Just need to write your own unique story. And please avoid copying people. Write your own unique story. Avoid plagiarism, because Chevening has a plagiarism software. Once you submit and they notice that you wrote people's essay, they'll pick it up and you're in trouble. So I think you want to really avoid plagiarism. And plagiarism is actually a big crime, right? So you just have to really be careful about that. In studying in the UK essay, please, in studying the UK essay, so you are expected to choose 3 schools you want to go to. For me, my first choice then was the University of Sussex, my second choice was the University of Bristol, and my third choice was the University of Newcastle. So I think when I got admission to Sussex and Bristol, I didn't bother applying to Newcastle because I didn't want to go to Newcastle. Newcastle is I think it's in the southwest of England, and it's inside. I don't want to go to Newcastle. So I think Sussex. So University of Sussex was also in Brighton. But Brighton was quite close to London. So when I was in Brighton, I think it's like 1 hour train. So sometimes I go to London to see my friends or go and watch Premier League. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I think I was in stadium trying to watch Arsenal fans and all of that. So there is more life in Brighton and London, because obviously I didn't come to UK to only study. I wanted to also have a life, have fun, right? So that's also one of the reasons why I actually chose University of Sussex. And also there's more Chevening scholars at the University of Sussex all over the world, right? So I think I have a lot of them. I made a whole lot of friends. My network expanded. So it's beautiful to actually know the reasons why you are selecting a university. And this is what they want to see in your study of the UK, in your study in the UK. What are those universities? Like, why are you doing this course? Those universities, what is unique about these universities you are going? Do you have a research professor whereby you are interested in their work? Is it about how beautiful the city is? Or is it that it's close to London? Or is it like they have a particular, just be distinct? Maybe they have like maybe a club in Brighton, yeah. One thing I like Brighton is that Brighton is quite diverse, very diverse. You can get different kind of people in Brighton, and it helps you to actually blend it to understand life in a bigger perspective. And also, University of Success, they have like their hostels inside the university. It's a big university, so you can imagine that if I'm going, I don't really need to worry about accommodation, because the school obviously will give you what an accommodation, right? And there was life, and people came all over the world in Brighton, and also Brighton have what we call a big beach, Brighton's beach, and you can imagine how beautiful that beach is going to be, where you can go swim or have good time. So Brighton was really open. I really, maybe you can say that you love going to the clubs over there, because Brighton also have a lot of clubs, right? So me and my mate, we can come back and visit these clubs, try to make new friends and all of that. So that was live, that was live there in Brighton and all of that. So it's something that if it's something you really want to do, it's something that you really need to really consider very, very well while moving forward. So I think that's what basically, that's why I'm just giving you reasons why I selected University of Success, and I really did enjoy life there and all of that. So it was quite unique for me. So when you're writing your application, just tell us, and all of that. Another thing about University of Success that I'm just trying to tell you from my own personal experience, it has like the Nigerian weather. It wasn't raining too much there. It was like it has rain, it has sun. But some people in southwest of England, just like take for instance in Wales, it's only raining there. Be like every day they will rain. Be like say, I'm making sure I'm minding my work. But sometimes you don't even want to get up from the bed. Be like say it's raining, and when it's raining, it makes everywhere dull. You don't even know what to do. So you don't just want to go to any university. You don't just want to go to any city in the UK, because unlike these cities are village, you don't see anybody. Trust me, you don't see anybody, and you are far from home, right? So you still want to connect with a community, you still want to connect with people. So you really need to be very careful about your shop. Before, if you go there, they don't really tell you the whole story. But if you don't really have a community part, or you might be all alone, something can happen to you, and not necessarily something bad, but your mental health is very important. So you must actually make sure that you are putting a lot of things into consideration. And also, you are having a community you are getting into there when you get to that city or university. So very important. So this study in the UK, if you get in good university, it really determines how you can be able to stay and also travel. So that's what that essay is all about. So career plan is that we have the short-term, the mid-term, and the long-term career plan. So what do you want to do when you come back to Nigeria? Obviously. So these are something. So what do you want to do? Who do you want to work for? And how does all those things you want to do, how does it connect to what the UK is doing in Nigeria? How is it going to, connect? So how is the course going to help you build and all of that? How does it connect what the UK and Nigeria? You have to also mention projects that the UK is also doing in Nigeria. So probably if you're in the education field, you consider that, okay, currently the UK and Nigeria is doing what we call scientific literacy improvement here in Southeast Nigeria, where we are looking at organizing Enugu State Science Competition quiz and all of that. So you can say that, this is a project you are doing and it's quite popular within them. So you must be current, you'll be able to know the current project that are really doing and how you can actually take part in those projects and how those projects actually connects to what the UK and Nigeria, how it connects to your work and how you could be able to build on that project. So these are things that you really need to take note while writing your career plan. You need to really, tell us those plans. Do you want to become the Minister of Education? Do you want to run an NGO? Do you want to be the President of Nigeria? Whatever is your own life. Whatever you believe is coming to pass. Don't be too shy. Or do you want to involve in policy making in your country? Tell us what you want, right? Very important. I might be wrong, but I just want to say these things. In writing your career plan, I think you might just write what you want to do. You might want to leave PhD out of the whole stuff, because they want you to come back and give back to your country. Not say after the run, they go do PhD. If the PhD, just make sure. Please, can we meet the person that is talking? Thank you. Since that, so you might just want to really be careful, okay? Just write a good career plan. I suggest that you might just want to Write all those things you want to do when you come back, how you want to improve the country. Make sure you are stating facts, statistics, data, everything to back up your claim. So you're not like you'll be too generic. Just be specific to what you want to do. Very important, okay? So I think that's for the career plan. Beyond what I've just said and everything I've just said, please also do your research. Well, brother, sister, you really need to do your research. You need to really go out there, get material, look for scholars, reach out to scholars, join group chat, ask questions, be curious, all right? Because when you are curious, that's we're able to ask more toilet questions, and you can see things will continue changing, understand? So that's my advice for you. Okay, so you really need to keep on improving if you really want to stand out for this kind of scholarship. Okay, I've said a lot already. Before I go to the next step, let me hear, let me just get a thumbs up. Let me know if you are with me. Let me know if you are still connecting. Let me know, you are there. Maybe just send a chat, something, just say hi, Lucky, we are with you. Just making sure if I can hear. Yeah, beautiful. I'm getting the thumbs up. Okay, very encouraging. Thank you so much, Neka, Ayomide, Glory. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the Infinix to everybody. I don't know your name. Infinix to everybody is a name. Okay, iPhone to everybody. Who is iPhone to everybody? You should be putting your name, so I'll be calling your name, right? And also Christabel. Thank you, Christabel, and all of that. And I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you're enjoying the talk. Okay, Chinanya, thank you. Chinanya, thank you so much. Thanks for, you actually gave me 3 thumbs up. I appreciate. I could have liked it to be 4. If you give me 4, it will give me more boost. So if I can get 4 thumbs up from Chinanya now, I'll continue. I'll go to the next slide. Chinanya, so I'm waiting for your thumbs up, if that's all right. 4 of them, please. Beautiful. She gave me more than 4. She gave me 5. Aha. Okay. Thank you, Chinanya. I'm encouraged to continue, right? So it shows that, thank you, Christabel. It shows that you guys are really following. Well done. Okay. All right. So let me tell you guys my journey, how my chevening journey, because you guys now say, Lucky, how did you do it? What made you stand out? Oh, God, so this is me. So I want to tell you my journey and all of that. I secured the scholarship on my second attempt. That wasn't my first attempt. Obviously, I got it at a very young age, but that doesn't mean that I had my failures, I had my rejection. So this is also part of the scholarship application process. Rejection is part of the story. I think the first time I applied was in 2020 doing my NYSC, and I think I applied to something in sustainable energy. But trust me, I didn't. That essay, if I look at it, I say, is it me that wrote this essay? Excuse me. So it was in my second attempt. So in my second attempt, I was asking a whole lot of questions because I really wanted to get this thing right. So my second attempt, I did a lot of research. I met a lot of scholars. I attended webinars like this. These webinars are very powerful. It gives you perspective, not just one webinar, 2 webinars, 3 webinars, 4 webinars, different ones, just to get more information. Then it's now guiding me on writing my essays, and I really had a very strong support system. I dedicated to over 3 months in preparing my applications. So my application, I dedicated about 3 months in writing that application, in preparing those applications. That was very key for me. I took my time, just like, I think when they told us to go back, MIC was doing COVID year. So during that time, I wasn't really doing much. I was just writing out all my examples, calling scholars, asking a lot of questions, and gave me a picture of what I wanted. So around that September, October, I was able to apply. So I really gave it a lot of time. So I engaged in retrospection before reapplying. So that's what we call retrospection. You have to look at yourself. I have to search myself inside. Lucky, what do you want to be in this life? What do you want to do? It's a way to really connect you to a greater energy about yourself. Where do you want to practice? For me, obviously, I looked at myself, I looked at my background and my experience, and I saw that the education part was really hitting more on me. I did physics and education, but I was tilting my experiences and what I was doing was tilting more on the education part, while the physics was on the secondary part. So this application, you want to really go where your strength lies, whereby you can say a whole lot of things. So in education, I was a lecturer after secondary school, senior secondary. I was a lecturer in Elechamani Polytechnic. I was a medical physicist where I taught in hospital. So I was tilting more on the teaching part rather than on the industrial part. So that's why I had to opt in for, applying for an education for my degree, right? So it gives you a kind of introspection. You just want to, it's a game you have to play. on saying, and if you don't play this game well, you are not going to get it. So that was what actually happened in my own time. So I got it on second time. Just you guys know, but that I came down, I came forward on my grandpa, and I really did a whole lot of work. And I told you about my life mantra. Whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. Whatever you set whatever is worth doing well. So if you want to do this application well, do it well, so that when rejection is coming back, you know that probably your good is not good enough. You need to top in your good. But when you know that your good is not good enough and you're still doing that not good enough, you not go far. Understand? So you need to really be careful, right? Very, very important. So you must learn to really give your best when it comes to this application, so that you'll not be hoping for nonsense, or you'll not be hoping that this thing is going to work out, but the thing no work out again. So I think it's something you guys really want to really consider. Give your best to things, and let's see what happens. So mentors provided a valuable guidance throughout the application process. So I had a lot of people on board. I have my friends, my family, my siblings. They were reading through my application, even though they don't know what was going to be the outcome. But they were just guiding me, correcting the English. Okay, Lucky, this is not clear. Make it clear. Make it clear. I was going through and make sure that a lot of people read through my essay, and depending on what I want to get from them. Sometimes my sister there, she studied English, so I told her, so I want you to proofread and make sure that there is no grammatical error. Maybe one of my mentors say, I want you to know if I'm telling the right stories, or someone will also be want to help you to reconstruct your English. So everybody I was giving my application, I had a specific target I want them to contribute. These guys have something they bring, their unique experience, and this is where they are really good at. So my mentors were really there to help me and guide me, and they gave me good perspective. And these are not just small guys, these are big people, right? That really helped me. And even my parents, they have one or two things to say about it. So use your circle very well, very important. Now, I also did my own journey. So I also make sure that I was really volunteering and giving back to my community, right? Because that's what the scholarship is all about, so that I could tell more stories. Yeah, that was something I did. So yeah, I also felt well supported, knowing that I was not alone in my scholarship journey. So these things it's not something you can hide one place and tell somebody, oh, they don't need to know you are doing the application. Oh, you are. If you are, you pay. And you know how they do. If you want to do application, have to go out there and tell, meet people, tell them you are doing this, you are doing the help. Ask for help. Nobody's an island on their own. We can't do anything. Let me tell you, is on the shoulders of people. That's where you see where you want to go. You need to stand on the shoulders of giants, and that's the secret to my success. Like, I was standing on the shoulders of people, and I was disturbing them. Even if you don't want me to climb, I'll tear your clothes. Well, in a very polite way. I'm very humble about this, right? But the point is, I really disturbed a lot of people. And I was given. It was partly the network I built, and all of that. So I was very careful. So you need to really stand on the shoulders of giants for you to be able to see where you want to go. Look at their mistakes. Don't make the same mistake they do. Get their advice, get their protocol, get their mindset. That's how it works. Understand? It's not just like anyhow thing. Not those things are not just fall to the moon and all of that. These are things you have to look out for. So you really need to reach out to people. It's not, these applications are not something you do secret. I don't want to tell you are doing this thing. You pay. Stand. So make sure that you reach out to people in your connect, people you know that could help you, even your family members. Somebody was telling that they didn't want the parents to know that they were doing the scholarship application. And I told my parents, because they were even very helpful. I can remember doing my interviewed them when I was in Lagos. I think I was in Enugu Lizen Hotel then back then. So I think because my daddy was well connected in Enugu state government, they had to the Enugu state office where I did, they gave me one jeep. Like, if you say the jeep they took me to interview that day, I was very comfortable. And imagine what that thing can do for somebody in the interview. When they give you a driver, they give you your own car for you to get to your interview. This is what your parents can do. And our parents have different capacities they could help us. So my parents would make sure that when I was in Lagos, I was okay, I was well taken care of. I didn't have to hustle. They were just carrying me in the car, and they took me to that interview. I was wondering, what if I failed after they carry me in that car? Instead, but obviously it was really helpful. That's the idea. So you really need to make sure that, tell people that it could help you, and it will really help you going forward. So I think that was what happened during my own time. Yeah, I told them. So I think so the last part of my journey is that I conducted extensive research to align with the Chevening criteria. So I think I did a whole lot of research. Guys, trust me, I researched, I worked hard, I edited addicted, I unaddicted. I reached out to people just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And this is what I'm emphasizing. You have to work as if everything depends on work, and also you have to pray as if everything depends on prayer. That's the way I was actually, helping myself, right? I really did put that work. I didn't joke with any of them. And then I backed it up with prayer. My success recipe, like say, diligent work and earnest prayer. That's it. So I was working hard, I was praying, and I wasn't entitled to anybody, and nobody owed me. I felt like I was totally responsible for my own success, right? So you have to be responsible for your own success. If anybody, not when people feel, hey, you didn't tell me this, that's how I feel. But it's not how it works. You have to really be responsible for your own stuff, for your own success in everything you want to do. Okay, this is very, very important. All right, so this is something I'm really advising us to do, right? So I sustain self-belief even when challenging seems unsurmountable. So sometimes it can be difficult, keep going. You doubt yourself, especially when I finished doing the application. A lot of things started coming to my mind. Look, you didn't do this thing well, you did a mistake here, you did this mistake and all of that. But I think you really need to believe yourself and give yourself a chance in life. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. And it's the way I make you feel about me, that's also how you feel about me too. So if I appear like an unconfident person, you see me that this guy is not confident. But if I'm even appearing confident, that's how you have to see me, right? So you really need to believe in yourself, believe in what you have, believe in your unique story, believe that you have something to offer, believe that you are different from the rest. You have to really believe in your dreams, your goals and ambitions, and knowing that God actually put those things there for you. There is so much thing you can say about self-belief. Trust me, even now, my self-belief, I'm still intact. I have to believe in myself. That's why I'm also, my discussion, I'm a very positive person. I'm very energetic person, right? So I try to keep that energy and focus because it fuels what I'm doing. Because if I'm not motivated, if I'm not positive, I can't do what I'm doing at this point. So you need to really believe in yourself. And it's when you believe in that your unique self, that your unique energy, you can see that there is an inspiration from the Holy Ghost to get that when you are writing your essays, ideas are coming. God is speaking, okay, put this, don't put this. Okay, what makes you unique? You can be able to tell your story. But when you're in self-doubt and in disbelief, you can't do anything, trust me. So you really need to work on your self-confidence, and it's going to really play a part when you come for the interview. It doesn't matter if you did something small, but tell those things in a big way. So even if you say that you encourage one person not to commit suicide, it's a lot. You don't need to tell 10 persons and all of that. If you encourage one person not to commit suicide, pardon me for that. So just know how to tell your story and really need to believe in yourself. Whatever any other person is saying about you does not matter. It's only what you say about yourself and what God says about you. And trust me, and God has been saying so many beautiful things about you. You just have to have the word of God in your heart so that you can be able to encourage yourself. So if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, or whatever you believe, I'm making sure that this is also a unique place for us, right? Just for me, my advice is that we cannot do this word alone. Just believe in something. But if you're a Muslim, believe in Allah, worship. If you're a Christian, pray to God. If you're a theist or you believe in the universe, whatever you believe in, just pray to that. And hopefully your success is coming from there. Because I'm also someone that believe that the universe also conspires for our own good. But just make sure you believe in something, right? And I'm very open about our religion and all of that. Just make sure that you have something you are trusting on and you are holding up to going forward. So I think my self-belief really helped me a lot. I really believed in myself, and I know that some good things were coming up for me. All right. So and that stuff, some things you could do to increase your self-belief is preparation. When you prepare for something, your belief skyrocket. So when I got invited for my interview, I was preparing. So I think I was in a group. If either I was doing a mock interview, so somebody was doing a mock interview for me, and I was doing for somebody. So I had to really, cooperate with my colleagues then, so that we can be able to really be good and all of that. So I think I did about 30 mock interviews, and I had about 1 month to really prepare for that interview. So I think when I got that stuff, I think I was working then. I think I was working part-time, not full-time. So I really gave a lot of time to my application, because I know that if this thing no work out that year, maybe I could have been in university still doing masters by this time. I don't know what my life could have turned out. And that was the only application I did that year that I know this was going to be the life changing. I had to put everything there. Because if this guy sent me rejection, I don't know what I was about doing. At a point, I was waiting for at a point when I was waiting for Chevening, I didn't know if I was going to pass or not. But I got desperate that I had to start. I told my parents, let me stop waiting for these guys. I told in Igbo language, we say, I said, mommy, because I was shocked that if this guy send me rejection, and they would send you rejection because they're not even sure after the interview, you get it. One out of three persons, they select one out of three persons that interview. So everything is still very competitive. So now let me just during that interview process, the interview is called it's called 16/16. So they have 16/16, 15/16, 14/16. So they'll grade you guys. So they'll start selecting from the highest. Guys, I was the 23rd person, but do you know my score was? My score was 15/16. That means 22 persons got 16/16. You get me? 22 persons scored was 16/16. So imagine how many people could have gotten 15/15, could have been to another 22 persons. So imagine if you have not gotten 14/16, you will not even get the scholarship. These things are competitive. You really need to put effort, because my idea was that I'm going there, I'm going to be the best. I was going there to bring the scholarship back home. That was my mindset. I was not going there to play game or gamble. I wasn't gambling anything. My mindset was that, lucky, you are going there, you are being the best, and you are created to be the best. You are the head and not the tail. God wants you to prosper, confessing good words and backing it up with hard work here and there. So this was things that really helped my mindset. So when I was there, you were asking me point. I have every point in my head, so I was just giving them back to back, boom, 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 boom. Even with the follow-up question, it was good. So these are stuff so you really need to work on these things. So self-beliefs, doing the work, and also preparing. Don't tell me that God will do it for you when God has given you capacity to do some certain things for yourself. So when he gives you capacity to do some certain things for yourself, make sure you do it. So I'm making sure that, so what I'm stressing on this is like, you need to have the right mindset to start this application process. You need to have the right mindset to win these scholarships. Nobody's going to do it for you. Don't come to my DM and say, Lucky, you are just asking generic questions. And these are things you could have gotten from the website. You really need to work on these things and really show preparation, okay? So that's stuff. So I think I've said I was 23rd scholar selected from Nigeria, and this is a very proud moment for me, right? So, and anybody can actually get it, okay? And then my support system was robust. I had a very good support system. People were there helping me, sharing me up, and I really do appreciate them. So these are stuff that you have to really take note going forward. And this was what happened during my own time, okay? So on the final note, in addition to the Chevening Scholarship, explore other scholarship options. Avoid putting all your hopes in one basket, right? So there's a lot of scholarship out there. So look at the one that really works out for you, and do your research and all of that. There's a lot of scholarship out there, and there's a lot that you can really take opportunity of, right? So you also, prayer should be prayer should complement with work and vice versa. Work as if everything depends on the work, and pray as if everything depends on the prayer. Very, very important. Do your research. Write your essays. Well, give people to read your essays for you. Work hard. Just know that when I submitted my application, I know inside me, I've done the work. So not that why. So that was one of my major confidence. I know I did the work. That in fact, when I was submitting my application, I asked myself, Lucky, what more could you have done? And I told myself nothing. I submitted because I know I've done everything I should do. Prior to reaching out to me or prior you are reaching out to me, please ensure that I've done your groundwork, allowing for more targeted questions, okay? So that's my encouragement to you. Make sure that you have done your work before reaching out. It's very important, right? So I'm wishing you the very best, and I hope to hear about your success story. So it's been success story. So this is my final note. So this is how you can reach me on my social media page in case if you want to engage me. So this is my social media page in case if you want to engage me or whatever. Just feel free, send your question. I'll be so much happy to answer your beautiful questions. All right. Just make sure you have done the work and just send in your questions. I'll be so much happy to answer those questions. All right. So I think that's what I have to say for today. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the very best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lucky. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. And for those that had questions on Commonwealth Masters, I promise you we're having a webinar very soon. So make sure you follow me on all my platforms. They are there. You can search the Lady Elfrida, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it is Elfrida Ibigiobo, and the YouTube is also the Lady Elfrida. You can connect with me on all social media platforms. Please don't forget to connect with our speaker. His social media handles are right on the screen. So please connect, and we will see again. Okay, we will see again. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe right now. We are posting this on that channel. Okay, thank you for joining. Lucky, they are saying thank you. They are saying thank you. It was
Thank you,
really a
guys.
great, sincerely, it was a great session. Your energy was just all over the place. You were really amazing, and you gave us your best. It wasn't easy, but with all the stress you have been through, today you still gave us your best, and it was too encouraging, because lots of people don't know that hard work pays. Hard work pays, and the fact that you still tell us that story, that is it a mantra or be something that you said about pray as if you're not studying, and then study as if you don't even believe in prayer. That's a very important thing. Even as Christians or as any believer, you should know, hard work pays. It's good to put in the work. It's good to put in the work. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'm so happy that we had this session, and we will see again. Okay, we will see again for 2 to 3 webinars before we call it a year. Okay, thank you and
All right. Thank you,
goodbye.
guys.
Let me end this recording right now.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words. Really encouraging. I wish you the very best. Please send in your
Thank you.
questions. I'm so much happy to answer. And then success, okay? It's
Yeah.
a the application window have started, right? So I think a lot of